In the world of celebrity headlines, political controversies are becoming harder to avoid. And one of the latest stories centers around legendary horror author Stephen King. Known for his best-selling novels and iconic villains, King is now drawing attention for something very different: his escalating public feud with Donald Trump and Trump supporters. In recent months, many observers believe Stephen King's political fixation has reached a new peak, surpassing even other outspoken Hollywood figures like Robert De Niro, and the fallout from it may be more serious than ever. Stephen King has a long history of making bold and often controversial statements about public figures. Over the years, he's repeatedly used social media to voice his opinions, sometimes drawing praise and other times intense criticism. One particularly notable moment came when King made misleading claims about political commentator Charlie Kirk shortly after a major national political incident on September 10th. That situation escalated quickly, triggering widespread backlash and even leading to some of King's books being pulled from shelves at select retailers. But what's happening now goes well beyond social media arguments. After being openly mocked by Donald Trump and his supporters, who labeled King a liar, mentally unstable, and unfit to be taken seriously, Stephen King chose to respond publicly, and instead of backing down, his response raised eyebrows across both political and entertainment circles. King has never hidden his hostility toward Donald Trump, MAGA supporters, or conservative voters in the United States. Critics argue that he has become unable, or unwilling, to separate his political views from his creative work. This ongoing fixation, many say, is a major reason why longtime fans have quietly distanced themselves from his books, mirroring the backlash faced by other outspoken celebrities like Tom Hanks and Robert De Niro. This time, however, Stephen King took things even further. At a point when Hollywood is already struggling, with studios losing money and audiences pushing back against heavy-handed political messaging, King made a startling announcement. Responding to Trump's criticism, he stated that while personal insults didn't surprise him, attacks on his writing crossed a line. He described Trump's behavior as delusional and accused him of lacking self-control as a sitting president. But it was what came next that truly shocked fans. Stephen King revealed that he has been deeply reflecting on his future projects and how to reconnect with his audience. According to King, the idea that made the most sense was turning Donald Trump into a villain in an upcoming fictional work. He openly admitted that Trump would serve as the inspiration for a new, antagonistic character, with what he calls Trumpism forming the ideological backbone of the story. King explained that this project would represent his personal frustration with the Trump administration and its supporters, whom he plans to portray as the primary antagonistic force within the narrative. He even went so far as to label the sitting president a fascist and a dictator, language that immediately sparked renewed outrage. For many critics, this announcement explains why Stephen King is now being compared unfavorably to Robert De Niro. King isn't just criticizing Trump, he is planning to transform more than 80 million Americans into symbolic villains inside a fictional horror universe. According to King, the project is still untitled and remains years away from completion, with a projected release window around 2027 or early 2028. He claims the villain will be as iconic as Pennywise, but visually and symbolically modeled after Donald Trump. King also stated that writers have a responsibility to channel political outrage through fiction, accusing Trump of projecting his own flaws when criticizing authors and artists. And that's where the controversy deepens. While some viewers are enjoying upcoming Stephen King projects, such as HBO's Welcome to Derry, a growing portion of his fan base is actively boycotting his work. Many longtime readers say they want compelling horror stories, not political commentary woven into every narrative. By centering his next book around Trump and Trumpism, King may have crossed a line even his most loyal fans aren't willing to accept. He later claimed that more than 80 million Americans are delusional and confirmed that this belief will directly shape the story he is currently developing, with the title expected to be announced in the coming months. In simple terms, Stephen King is creating a new monster, both visually and symbolically, modeled after Donald Trump. The real question now is how audiences will respond. The backlash may not come only from Trump supporters, but also from everyday viewers across the political spectrum who are increasingly exhausted by celebrities injecting politics into entertainment. This fatigue is one of the main reasons many people are turning away from Hollywood altogether and exploring new forms of content outside traditional film and television. Adding to the tension, recent industry reports show that politically divisive entertainment continues to struggle commercially, reinforcing concerns that creators may be pushing audiences away rather than bringing them in. When you step back and look at the full picture, it becomes clear why many believe Stephen King has gone further than Robert De Niro. More aggressive, more obsessive, and more polarizing than ever before. His next book is still years away, but when it finally arrives, the reaction could be explosive. And that's the latest chapter in a controversy that shows no signs of slowing down.